At college orientation early stood 5 students feeling rather surly, an icebreaker ahead of them to play, with a prize intriguing they shouldn't stray. To tell a tale engaging was the goal, in humor attempts they must be fruitful. Textbooks would be paid full for the winner, too many that's better than free dinner. The winner, controlled by popular vote, would celebrate with books and a smug gloat. Many personalities were present, from students to those less than pleasant. There was the bookworm who loved learning, so every note taken was not just for show. Overachiever she was to a fault, shown by her studies she never did halt. When she sat to read books, time seemed to seize. She'd be missing the parties and her peers would tease. Wearing clothes with the aesthetic of fall, cozy in sweaters, she walks through the halls. Drinking hot chocolate while fit in her boots, waltzing through campus avoiding the brutes. Arriving to the orientation, she found she was lacking motivation, for she'd be meeting 4 other people. The thought of socializing was evil. A sorority girl was there also, though don't mistake her brain to be hollow. Attends the orientation today with the college experience to gain. She was dressed up in black, no books in hand. For rush week was soon, there she takes her stand. Through her clothes were frilly, not was her goal, to join the group her mom did years ago. Talkative and fun, a little bit wild, happy and joyful, no taxes to file. She was only there for sororities, but was set on winning with her stories. Vicky's love for this man, not like any, obsessed, without him her heart would envy. A loyal woman ready for marriage awaits him to deliver that message. With golden wavy hair that drapes her face, as well her nose can surely show her race. Her pale skin even fairer than the moon, but on Shabbat day in her hand a broom. Thankful to her family she burdened, bound by her state and still called a warden. Of practice with her love of Jewish God, she disobeys, hides in her lavish fraud. For she could not stop this great sinful love, she cannot face her Father above. Her man that has been with her for many years, with black braids that fall just behind his ears. Not just a man the color of a bean, parts of a black man if you know what I mean. In love with her man could not be obsession, but only in her eyes how to express his perfection. A journey this man has ahead of him could not stop this obsessed girlfriend. If college was the way for him to go, she shall be on her way if that is so. This next person was quite a character. The stoner had clothes like Adam Sandler, big and baggy and ugly all the same, like he'd never been in the dating game. His very few dates were always quiet, said it was something about their diet. "What are you doing here?" they said meanwhile. "I'm waiting for them to play Gangnam Style." He seemed desperate to turn his life around, but often failing classes he was found. Laid-back attitude and vices galore, somehow he always needed something more. He thought that college was going to be that one thing he needed to finally move out the basement in a short while, because living with his parents wasn't his style. There was a character that was quite crass, and no one could dream of matching his sass. Party animal lived life to its full. School could never disturb its packed schedule. All those who looked upon him were quite stricken, because he looked like much of a chicken. He was louder and much more confident than those that would cast upon him judgment. Most of his time was spent at a party. Because of this, he was not a smarty. He had arrived late to the group's meeting, claiming he had gotten lost in the reading. Now, the rules of this icebreaker game. Iambic pentameter in its frame. So syllables 10 must have to win. With these rules in place, let the tales begin. To start it, the bookworm has volunteered, while all the other participants sneered.
The pressure of success started early to ensure that I would grow up worthy. Like a scale weighing failures and trophies, society starts judging like monkeys. Therefore, I've based my worth on my success, causing myself only stress and more stress. Constantly worrying about my grades has left me with anxiety in spades. About my performance and my future, all this fretting could give me a tumor. It's all good though, because one thing is clear, without all this fuss I wouldn't be here. And despite it all, I ought to confess, there are those I wish to give thanks unless they're the ones who stumped my headaches, caused by picturing potential mistakes, or those who laughed at the weight I carried, placed by those who promised it'd prepare me. To these people I will impart no thanks, for I'm done lamely depleting my tank. What I've come to realize is simple. How others judge matters very little. There's no need to equate my worth to scores, not when what I can offer is much more. But up next, something pre-epiphany, so with pleasure, please welcome High School Me. This story starts in my senior year, coursework the cause of many shed tears. The one in particular does stand out, the directions having me whine and pout. But just to myself I'd not say out loud, for those around me would not be proud. The assignment itself wasn't too tough, motivating myself, now that was rough. While all force is the goal, I can't admit, all I wanted was to delay it. When asked why, I only meekly murmur that at heart I'm a procrastinator, which did challenge my then views on self-worth, though that was something to later unearth. But back to our story, I'm sure you're thrilled. Here's where my previous mindset was killed. Dreading the work, I kept putting it off, thinking it easy so when asked I'd scoff. I'd say, it's easy, won't take me much time, if for every time I said that I had a dime. My overconfidence fueled my dawdling, seizing any guilt I had for stalling, till the time came when I browsed the due dates. Unless I started now, it'd be too late. The due date is soon, in just a few hours. How do I finish? It require powers. Disbelieving and stress, I got to work, focused my thoughts when doubts began to lurk. I powered through, though not pleased at the end. My confidence this time was not my friend. Going to hit submit despite my feelings, I saw something new that set me reeling. The due date, it changed, it wasn't tonight, and I alone was to blame for my fright. In my haste, I must have misread the date. There was one more week before it was late. I was so relieved I started to laugh. That simple fact reduced my stress by half. I realized then what I had to do was stop putting things off, that much I knew. Because all the stress was avoidable, no need to make myself miserable. In fact, if I had just managed my time, I wouldn't have feared my work wasn't sublime. I was lucky this time, but it won't hold. Afterwards, there's no one but me to scold. So a piece of advice from me to you, for your sake I hope it rings sure and true. When it comes to work, you don't want it late, and for the love of God, don't procrastinate.
Because of what my story does comprise, I may leave you feeling a bit surprised. While walking with an air of confidence, I feel my brain all jumbled up in bits. Here I tell you with secret discretion, confiding in you quite a confession. I'm afraid I've been much self-critical since I was just but a small little girl. I fussed with my makeup since time began, cried in my closet, I've got nothing tan. Don't think that I'm vain, perhaps insecure. Being good enough seems to be my chore. Smart, funny, pretty, these are my standards. Look at myself, and I feel backwards. I'm not throwing a pity party, but showing you the life of a Barbie. Please do not gasp and fall drop dead in shock. I think we all know that I freaking rock, but everyone sometimes gets the jitters, and after all, who am I to differ? I have many a wild twisting tale, but I am nervous that most would fail to entertain this gaggle of students. So for you, only one predicament I deem worthy such a competition. Perhaps I'm scared, I'm dead sure I will win. My problem started on an autumn day. My youthful excitement was here to stay. My mom had a sorority party. Wishing to attend my nagging hearty, I begged my mom to let me go with her. If not the party, then just the dinner. I envied these groups of strong young women, my greatest wish to socialize with them. It took me 2 weeks, but my mom agreed. I shopped carefully, with thought and with speed. Suddenly felt a wave of nervousness as I tried on my long black formal dress. I wouldn't look as beautiful as them. I'd stick out so bad, I wouldn't fit in. Part of it was true, I'd have to admit. I couldn't floss, dab, or walk like a crip. The TikToks they'd make, I'd look like a nerd. But never mind that, I had lots to learn. I hung up my dress and bought my makeup. Scarily fast, the day managed to come. I panicked all night, I worried all day, smudged my eyeliner but left no delay, ran out the door, accepted my fate, no hope at all that this night would be great. We got to the ballroom, packed to the brim. These girls were beautiful, I couldn't win. So out of place, I tried to disappear. I started down the stairs, trembling with fear. I hit the 5th step and started to fall. No one to catch me, I slid down the hall. All eyes on me, the worst way possible, making an entrance like a soccer ball. Wholly mortified, I froze like a deer. Was going to run, to get out of here, until I felt a hand put on my arm. This woman made clear that she meant no harm. When I was your age, she said, comforting, I tripped on my heels and spilled all my tea. We all have a story, she told me too. Welcome to the club, we're all just like you. I took a deep breath and gathered myself, suddenly okay with my lack of stealth. I had learned something I still use today. My inner critic predicts no doomsday. We are always the harshest to ourselves. I wouldn't say those things to someone else. No matter what, we are never alone. When my critic calls, I hang up the phone.
I believe we all need our other halves, just like we all take our different paths. Sorority girl needs sorority, bookworm needs her reading ability, but what I need is not just my lover, just to be with him, always, not never. Me and him together for just 2 years. It was just yesterday when we were peers. My love was strong then as it is today, but have no woman walk his way, I pray. For he should just need one girl in his life, and surely I will end up as his wife. He always gives me his reassurance, but I need him like my life insurance. I would never want another lover. I would even choose him over Usher. If a frat boy came up to me grossly, I would stay away and not be closely. I would send him to a fraternity. She could choose the frat, the sorority. Not I, for I have too much loyalty, because my man treats me as royalty. The stories I tell is of him, so I will not tell you stories of Grimm. I am only here to be next to mine. A part of this contest, I might be vying. I'm his rib, and I might be out on a limb. Let's finish, so I can go back to him. Oh, I have the only joke worth telling. for he had left me laughing and yelling. The most cunning and funniest of all, every time I'm with him, I have a ball. I'm with him every time of the hour, even when he needs to take a shower. This tale is just the sweetest of any. It starts in his room, outside dark, rainy. I swear the story is to laugh about, even though it had me crying in doubt. He was holding me in his strong, warm arms, the future we talked, rolling in his charm. I never wished to hear, we need to talk. My heart vanished, as if it took a walk. He then explains, it's just about college, how he must leave me and take a voyage. But this cannot be, I need you to breathe. I put my shirt in my mouth, I tease. It will be a great opportunity. I fight and hold back tears as he tells me. Does he not love me? For wanting to leave? How stupid was I crying on that eve? But no matter, for now I am at ease. After all, he visibly took my pleas. My pleas was to be with him forever, and he knows I am not a forgetter. So that night I went home and packed my bag. I'm really a lucky one, not to brag. I get to stick by his side like a leech. She's so clingy, I hope he doesn't preach. For I only love him very dearly. I don't need individuality. For me to be happy, I need to be with him so clearly. Surely he won't flee. I know he won't leave. He is all I need. If he leaves me, I will come back like a weed. For I only need him and he needs me. He can't get rid of me, I'm like a flea. If he tries to itch me off, I will stay. Isn't it so funny I cried that day? All to just end up here, back on his side. Even if he has tried to run and hide, we will always end up back together. Even when I act like harsh weather. Just understand that I need him the most. Without him, I will turn into a ghost. I would rather haunt him than be without. And without me, I hope his heart a drought.
My story started in middle school when I first smoked. I've not been the same since then. My life has been quite different. It started to revolve around the grass. I really messed up for a lot of years. I had become my parents' worst fears. That's actually why I'm at this place, here to be someone new and change my ways. Done with all the drugs and sex and parties, I am here for the rigorous studies. This school is the first step on my new path. I'm not too thrilled to be studying math. I have no job or steady income. All I have is my knowledge and wisdom, which admittedly isn't much I say, but it's hard to gain wisdom in harm's way. My story has ups and it has downs, but throughout my life I hear the sounds of improvement as I inch my way close to becoming who I want most. The best version of me I could possibly be is waiting for me. All I need is the opportunity to remain sober. So how is it that I'm still the stoner? Our pasts are still a part of all of us. My story has a lot of bitterness for that reason, that it contains my past. When I was just about 12 years of age, my friends and I made a little wager. Whoever can climb on the roof without falling down and out and chickening out gets $25 from each of us. That is a fair wager, I said to Gus. I know how we can make it more funner. How do we do that? The winner does it drunker. We went to the kitchen cabinet and placed all our alcohol on the granite. Everyone take a shot and walk on the roof. If you make it, take another one. This went on for about 15 minutes. We were all drunk and standing on business. No one wanted to lose this crucial game. We all kept drinking because that was the aim. It was my turn again to take a shot. Was my head still in the game? It was not. I walked on the roof feeling in pain, but I fell off the roof feeling more pain. That day my friends and I got drunk because we thought it was cool to do it just for fun. We saw it on TV all of the time and nothing went wrong, so why this time? We went to the hospital right after and soon they put both my arms in plaster. They were both broken because I fell off my roof just because I was goofing off. It took a long time to remove my casts. I kept breaking them because of the grass. I was always chasing the highs from when I first found the drugs, and even then, nothing could ever compare to right here when I'm making memories with those near. These memories will outlast the ones where I was so high I forgot underwear. I'm sure you would all agree with me that even these boring memories could combat my wild, crazy lifestyle I had, and it wasn't that long ago I add. When I was just a stoner dude and not who I am now, I always had some pot.
This whole dumb assignment is most absurd, the party animal finally slurred. I'm chock full of so many funny tales. Y'all must suffer from a great many ails. Full lives don't need to be a choreograph. Apparently the bookworm seems to have avoided living any life at all, as her tale was misunderstanding small. Not to mention our Miss Sorority, whose nervousness nearly caused her to flee. Being stoner is simply depressing, as is made evident by his talking. It is wholly unneeded to create such burdens to bear at such a quick rate. Leave behind your baggage, live life to the full. Otherwise, your life will feel like itchy wool. As soon as your life becomes engaging, you become engaging. Though that might sting. As you are all my friends, I will advise. You'll enter unknown and leave recognized. This is how every party starts and ends, alone until I become everyone's friend. Allowing yourself to be who you are means regret can't leave on you any scar. On this, I speak from my experience. Now to start my tale, I hope I make sense. My famous tale begins at a party, as all good tales must begin, quite surely. It was my first big party to attend. Now this is the part I must not amend. Uncharacteristically though it was, to attend this party, I was nervous. The night before, I had just lost a bet. Tripping over coattails, I paid my debt. Into the party's venue I stumbled. Arriving into the fray, I tumbled. I stood feeling rather ridiculous. In a chicken suit, I would cause ruckus. People laughing all around me, except Grumps looking truly socially inept. They had been told they would be networking. Instead, they were at a party, shirking. Upon my arrival, all the Grumps jeered. I bet this one leaves their pages dog-eared. Just look at him, wearing such a costume, like he just walked out of an online chat room. Others simply laughed at my appearance, and asked if my costume was on clearance. Overwhelmed, the party turned all but gray. Tell me, have joy. It doesn't work that way. The party continued to be a blast. That's all there's to say to people who asked. When I left, those Grumps were waiting outside, leaning on cars as their friends were their rides. We exchanged pleasantries. They had found joy, while I found that party to be a cloy. Upon entering my next big party, I found those Grumps drinking themselves hearty. Without my chicken suit, I was exposed to the chaos that the party enclosed. But I was never uncomfortable. The cacophony playing in my skull, allowing me to finally be free. Going to parties has given me glee. Being a Grump will make you miserable. I am never grumpy, only humble. That party made me realize my love for chicken suits, and I will only want more. I made the split-second decision to let myself party as only I know. I spent all my time drinking and joking. I announced to them all, be your own king. Don't let the world take away all your fun. Partying will entertain everyone. Of course I bought this costume on clearance. I am not given a huge allowance. All the Grumps found my gay apparel lame, and strongly refuted my awesome claim. You say to rule our own world, hypocrite. Joy is found in peace. You say that doesn't fit. We will leave, but you can just be happy. The Grumps stormed out till them I could not see, and left us all to live life to its full. The fun of the party had a great pull. Life isn't for wasting on the serious, it's for enjoying the mysterious. Ever since that fateful day I have vowed to wear my chicken suit and not be cowed.